reel, I'll take that rod on you. Well, Gina broke the ice here at Lake Elminor. It's not a big fish. We'll grab one of my my copper spoons. I'll show them to you. Beautiful Lake Elminor rainbow. We'll get him back in the water as quick as we can.
FishHuntShoot.com offers a variety of tackle as well as rods and reels designed to get you on more and bigger fish. Check it out today at FishHuntShoot.com.
Howdy folks, I'm Kel Kellogg, and another power outage is looming here in the Sierra foothills. I'd like to be out on a lake right now, maybe making some video content out there. I've been fishing, I have more fishing planned, but right now I'm hanging around the homestead here. I'm doing some chores and I am getting ready for the next round of power outages. I know they're necessary, but doesn't make them any less frustrating, that's for sure. Right now there's a fire raging over in Sonoma County. My heart goes out to all the people over there that have lost their homes and whatnot. I don't think anybody's lost their life yet. That's good. I just hope we get some rain soon and we get this fire danger behind us. Having said that, I am looking to make video content for the following week here, and I thought it was best to get it done before I lose power and I'm able to upload. So I thought this was a perfect time to get into a theoretical discussion of trout tactics, and I want to focus on trout movements. We'll do another one of these in the spring, but this one here, it concerns fall and winter trout movement. And I think this will help you catch more fish this fall and winter. Right now, things are stagnant. I'm up at about 3,000 feet. It's about 75 degrees. It doesn't feel very fall-like, despite the fact that there's leaves all over the ground. But rest assured, we're going to get some rain. We're going to get colder overnight temperatures, and that's really going to spark fish movement, and it's going to spark some great fishing. So let's look big picture at what's happening, what's happened, and what is going to happen. So all summer, the trout, the holdovers, at most of our lakes, places like New Melones, Don Pedro, Folsom, Shasta, you name it, they've been locked into deep water feeding on shad, feeding on pond smelt, and the downrigger crowd, they're able to get at those fish, but by and large, they haven't felt much pressure. They're certainly not seeing power bait 85 feet deep, a half mile from shore. So they have seen some lures, but by and large, they've been unmolested for several months. So as the nights get shorter, the surface temperature has cooled, and what we've seen at Lake Shasta, the fish have abandoned the real deep water. Not all of them, but most of them, and they're up in the top 25 feet at this point. Now, that sounds like they're pretty accessible, and they are, but the problem is when they've gotten up high in the water column, there's no concentration of feed, so the fish have scattered. So if you want to catch fish now, you've got to stay on the move. You've got to run, bait fish pattern spoons and plugs that allow you to troll fast. And even if you catch a fish, there's probably not a concentration of fish there. You just got to stay on the move, and you got to just intercept active fish where you can, and you got to cover a lot of ground. Now, that's going to change. When we break out of this kind of bluebird pattern here, water temperatures continue to decline, we're going to start to see the bait fish concentrate. They'll be near the surface, but they're going to concentrate. They could be out in open water. They could be near an island. They could be in the mouth of a cove. There's no predicting where they're going to concentrate, but they will concentrate, and whenever you have a concentration of bait, you're going to start seeing a trout concentrate as well. Now, that's the time when you're out trolling, when you hook one fish, you want to watch the sonar, you want to work that area, and you might find a honey hole. You might find a school of bait or multiple schools of bait hanging out in the mouth of a big cove, and you might pound out, 15 or 20 hookups right there without leaving that cove. So that's the kind of action that's going to form up moving forward. Now, in that situation, let's say the water is 57, 56 degrees on top. That is right in the trout and the bait's comfort zone. They're happy. They're wearing Bermuda shorts and sunglasses, and they're having a big old party out there. But as the nights continue to get longer and the temperature continues to drop and the water temperature declines in turn, the bait fish and then the trout, they're going to start to feel cold. They're going to be like, it's not so comfortable out here anymore. I need to put on my sweats and get rid of these Bermuda shorts. And those trophy trout, they're the old guys, so they got their shorts hiked up, almost to chest level. But anyway, that's an aside. What you're going to find is those trout are going to seek out warmer water. So if we get a rain, sometimes the warmer water is flowing in from tributaries with a bunch of food, and you'll see the trout all suck up there. But day in, day out, usually where you see them go is either in shallow flats, where the water can warm up more, where it's exposed to the sun, it's not very deep, and you're not getting a lot of mixing, or along rocky drops. That's kind of a classic place. The rocks warm up, it warms the water a degree or two, the bait sucks up in there, and the fish follow. Now, this is the time of the year when the bank anglers really excel, and it makes sense. The bait comes to the bank, the holdovers come to the bank, and at most lakes like Amador, Collins, places like that, that's when they're dumping the most planters in the lake as well, and those fish never really leave the bank. They might venture out there offshore and be like, man, it's cold out here, we'll go back over there. So what you find is within 30, 40 feet of the bank, you have a pretty, vigorous concentration of fish. They're very accessible to bank anglers, and this is the one time of the year that bank anglers can often outfish boaters, because think about it. Those guys in those big $100,000 kokanee sleds, they don't like to troll into 5 feet of water. They like to stay offshore where they're not going to break anything, because everything on those boats is expensive. So they like to stay offshore, and they're going to catch fish too. But the bank guys, they can mop them up when the water gets cold enough for the trout and the bait to suck up along the bank. What I like to do in that situation is I like to throw out one rod with bait, either floated off the bottom or floated under a slip bobber. Just be careful that you don't cast beyond the fish. It's not a distance casting contest when those trout suck up. First presentation, just toss that bait 20 feet off the bank and see what happens. Let it soak there for a half an hour. Well, that rod's doing its thing. I like to have another rod with a crocodile or a Castmaster, maybe a Thomas eel spoon, something you can cast a decent distance and just kind of fan cast with that and see what happens. Sometimes they'll hit the spoon, sometimes they won't, sometimes they're a little more lethargic and you'll end up fishing bait on both rods. But kind of use some bait, use an artificial lure, kind of take your temperature. Some days you can catch them on both, you'll be getting fish on your bait rod, you'll be getting fish on your spoon, and it's just a lot of fun. But anyway, that's what's coming up, and that kind of action will just continue right up until we get a lot of big rain and the water gets muddy, and even then you can still catch fish off the bank. So, in summary, trout are going to move up. We're already seeing that in a lot of places. They're going to scatter, then they're going to reconcentrate on bait. The boaters are going to be able to work them hard. The bank guys are get in on some of that action. But then as the water temperature continues to decline, we see those fish suck into the bank, and the bank fishing crowd, they are really going to get in on some great fishing. And remember, just because you're fishing from the bank, it still pays to kind of work the features. You want to work narrows, bottlenecks, points. Anything that can serve to concentrate the fish even further is to your benefit. You're not in a boat. It's hard to move around on the bank. You need to have your stuff in the pack. You need to have some mobility. But points, those are real fish concentrators. Narrows, places like that. Anywhere where you're going to get a concentration of fish, that's the place you bank anglers want to be. Anyway, I hope this helped you catch more and bigger fish as we move, into the late fall, early winter season. We've got some great days ahead of us. Hopefully this weather pattern breaks. We need some rain to tamp down this fire danger and to stimulate the bite in our trout lakes. So that's about the size of it. If you haven't visited the Fish Hunt store, click on over there. We got some great gear for sale, trout gear, rods, stuff like that. And I want to thank you guys for all the support. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have a Fish Hunt Shoot YouTube channel. I'm Kel Kellogg. I got a lot of chores to do, so I'm signing off. You guys enjoy the rest of your week, and I will catch you soon right here on YouTube. Thanks a lot, guys.